Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of the Stay Faithful Podcast. I'm your host, Ty Alston, and joining me today is one of the cool members of the Faithful. She's always repping, and she's also the partner and the co-host of the Crave Radio show. It's Miss Alex Lopez. How you doing, Alex?
I'm doing so good. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Good.
It's a good Thursday. I'm feeling good. And I got you as a guest. So thank you for coming on. I really appreciate this.
Yeah, of course. No problem. It's always nice to talk to another faithful member. It's awesome.
Yes, indeed. I'm one of those people that, like, even if I don't know you, if I see a person out in the street and they're rocking some Niners gear, I'm like, faithful,
You got to.
Yeah, always repping for my people, especially for the team. But I always ask this question because I'm just curious, how did you become a 49ers fan?
So I was born and raised. My dad is a huge 49ers fan. I mean, he's had season tickets for longer than I've been alive. And I have two older brothers who were very invested in the Niners and kind of had that same fandom growing up. And so it was only natural that I too became a 49er fan.
So it's in the blood.
There's
no
blood.
way you could get out of it. Yeah.
No. Oh my gosh, no. I see those people that are like, oh yeah, I'm a 49er fan. My son's a fan of like just the most random team. And I'm like, how are you allowing this?
Yeah.
How does this happen? Yeah. I can't do it. I could not do it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy when that happens. People tend to break away in the family, but I've met a lot of people where they just kept it tight in the family. Like we're Niners through and through.
Yeah.
So yay, way to go, Dad. You raised them right.
Yes.
And I know that you are a season ticket holder. You're at every game, always repping.
Yeah.
What's it like being a season ticket holder and, just showing up every Sunday, every home game and, cheering on the team?
It's great. There are times in the season where I'm just like, oh gosh, okay, we have to plan our schedule around, okay, we have a game to go to on Sunday, so I can't do this, I can't go here, I got to get ready. Saturdays, I'm not going out, I'm not doing anything, I'm getting prepared to go to the games. But it's been amazing. I would say this is my third season.
I was going to ask that. Okay.
Going full on every single game. And of course, before I would go to a lot of games, it's just my brothers would go, or I always go with my brother or my dad, but my dad would go, my mom would go. And I don't know, I just kind of took over and I was like, I need to go to every single game. I just have to. So it's been amazing.
That's great. That's awesome. And you mentioned your brother. Can I give him a shout out?
Yes.
Yeah.
I love
Shout out to Josh. Shout out to Josh. He's always with you. Your road dog, always repping. You posted a great video of him this season during the Chiefs game. We had this cool epic rant. He's like, man, I hate the Niners. I hate Jet York. I hate the sun. I hate everything.
That game especially, I think the tensions were high just based on everything that was going on. But he's definitely the more, I would say he loves this team so much. And so I think when a game like that happens, you kind of try not to get hurt by it. And so you're kind of like, man, I'm pissed. I got to be naked. That's how he is. Yeah. But he cracks me up so much. He is so funny. And he's taught me so much about football in general. I would not be who I am today without him. So I got a lot of love for him. We tease each other all the time, but, he's great.
That's dope. Once again, shout out to Josh. Love to see the family sticking together, especially the siblings. It's awesome stuff. Yeah. And you mentioned, the vibes being a little weird during that time.
Yeah.
Right. I'm on the East Coast, so getting the games is a bit difficult. I went to the home opener versus the Jets.
Yeah.
Which that was, dope. Everybody's like, yay!
We're like, great season.
Yep. Super Bowl, here we come. Yeah.
Yeah. Totally.
So you were there throughout. How were the vibes in Levi's as the season went on?
It was one of those things where you can tell sometimes when the season ticket holders were kind of giving away the tickets, selling it. You would see it, but this is my first game. I saw so many little kids with a cute little button. And I think, honestly, it's better to take, those kind of first games to a season that doesn't really matter in that way. Because I've been there through like these crazy playoff runs, and the energy is just kind of different. So there was definitely a difference between, say, being there last season and being there the season before. Yeah,
I can imagine. Especially.
Oh yeah.
You mentioned crazy run, that crazy playoff run from 2023, the comeback versus the Packers, and then the comeback versus the Lions.
Yeah.
Wild.
Honestly, those games I'll remember for the rest of my life. They were amazing, especially that Lions one. Like, I wanted to leave.
Oh, really?
Time. Yeah. I was like, I can't do this. Like, I'm so sad. Like, I can't believe we're losing another NFC Championship game. And Josh was actually the one that was like, no, Alex, we got to stay. We got to stay.
Shout out to Josh.
I'm giving him so much credit. He's going to tease me for this.
Yep.
Yeah, but I'm so glad I stayed, of course. Truly, I like to think that was like, I don't think of anything after that game, okay? That was the magical season, and nothing happened 2 weeks later.
Yeah. We're going to end the season there on that high note, right?
That's the highest we could go. NFC champions. That's it.
Yeah. The game in Vegas, that didn't happen.
That didn't happen. It was a dream.
Yeah.
Nightmare.
Yeah, that Detroit game was something. I didn't go. I was here, but I had friends who went.
Yeah.
And I remember at halftime texting them, they're playing Don't Stop Believing for a reason. We got this. We can do it. Just don't lose hope. And then there was one moment after another, and another. And it was like, yes. Oh, I was emotional here at home.
Yeah.
So I could imagine being there. I would have lost it completely.
I know. I cried so many times of like just this love that you carry for your own team. It's just so special. And I think with the players that we have and that group that we had, it's like you couldn't help but, put your heart out for them.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. And still do.
And
even last year, after a tough season, you still do.
Yeah. No, for sure.
See Fred and Fred out there on one leg, after he cracks his ankle.
I know.
Still just rooting for him. Like, come on, Fred.
You got it.
Yeah.
And and it also shows just how much the team, like the players love the team as well, that they're willing to kind of put themselves through that, even though, the season was over, pretty early on, or we knew it was going to be over pretty early on.
Yeah. It was later in the season. There was that like slim hope.
Turn
around. They can do something. Yeah.
I know. I think about that too. I was like, gosh. Yeah. But you know what? I was like, I'd rather us lose a little early this season than to somehow sneak in and do good and then lose it kind of at the end. Yeah. Yeah.
After 3 straight years and 4 out of the last 6 straight years of having long playoff runs, it's like they needed a rest.
Yeah. Right? Totally.
They needed a longer off season, I felt. So it's kind of a blessing in disguise that the season did end the way that it did. Yeah. But you hear reports now of like CMC is healthy.
Yeah.
Fred's feeling healthy. And, Trent's coming back. And it's like, okay, we could be on to something here.
Yeah.
So fingers crossed, knock on wood.
I know, yeah.
Yeah.
I hope
Okay.
so. I definitely think it's going to happen. I don't know. I have a good feeling.
Oh yeah, I'm optimistic that it will. I think all things are falling in place. But we're gonna get to that. I got a pop quiz for you.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Okay. We're gonna play a quick game, a start bench cut.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. And you know where I'm going with this. Okay.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
Who do you start? Who do you bench? Who do you cut? Your 3 players are George Kittle, Nick Bosa, and Brock Purdy. Go.
Oh, I can't do this. Okay. Okay. I gotta start with George Kittle. He is my favorite player.
Okay.
That's not even a question. Gosh, this is tough. Okay. I'm gonna bench Purdy because I got a soft spot for him right now.
Mm-hmm.
And all this contract negotiation talk.
Okay.
And
understandable.
I'm gonna cut Bosa. I'm gonna put him on the rocks for a second because I want him to give me some sort of sack record next season. Maybe I'll change my mind. I want him kind of fire under him. Yeah, exactly.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Right,
that wasn't easy though.
I know it wasn't. If you didn't pick George, I was going to clip this up and send it to him and Claire, by the way. Just,
I got so much love for them. I could
when you bump into Claire next time, she's going to say, "Oh, really?"
Oh my gosh, no.
All right, so I know you've met Claire. I know you've met Kristen. Olivia, have you met Olivia?
I have not met Olivia. I would freak out. Me and my sister-in-law, Maggie, love Olivia. So that would be amazing to meet her. I just love her game day style. Mm-hmm. And I mean, of course, she always supports Christian, and I think that's amazing.
Yeah, they all do. They support their husbands. They all have great style. I think they are as a big part of the team as the players, in our eyes. They're stars, us fans too.
Yeah, totally.
When you think about them.
Yeah, I mean, I think this era of me loving the team, I think that's also included having love for the players' wives, because you really do see how much support that they put for the players. And I didn't see this growing up. I, of course, knew that was a part of it. But I think now with social media and them being able to kind of show it even more, you can't help but love the players' wives and follow them and be inspired by them. Right.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm in agreement. And I love that the organization embraces them and is inclusive of them, and has them at events and doing things. It's much different than the way it used to be. When players' wives were just put in a section and you never saw them, or you couldn't speak to them or anything.
Yeah, you couldn't even spot them.
Totally. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But no, they're out there front and center.
Front and center.
And I think
love
it's great.
It.
It is great. It adds a total different element to the team. And it makes you feel just more connected, I would say.
Totally.
Oh, yeah. All right. So, speaking of players and this team, we've had a lot of movement this offseason.
It's been a wild ride.
Yeah. It's got some things going on. Tell me, what's your feel of how the offseason has gone so far? How you feeling? What's happening?
I don't think it's as bad as I think a lot of people on social media have made it seem. I think a lot of these cuts or trades or releasings, we kind of knew that, things were going to happen with certain players. Right. It's making sense. I think the only one that has really scarred me and really hurt me and will for a while, I think, is Dre Greenlaw. But other than that, I think the team has been making all the right choices. And I'm kind of looking forward to see what happens next, especially in terms of draft and, what other players are going to come and join the Niners this season.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you. It's not as dramatic as people make it seem. We knew the writing was on the wall for a certain group of players, right? Just knew they weren't coming back, like a Mooney Ward. I mean, he said himself he wouldn't be back. Dre, this is his first time being a free agent and coming off a big injury where he basically missed the whole season, and him, wanting greener pastures elsewhere. It's kind of like, okay, I can see that. So, you knew it, but the team has a plan, and they're sticking to that plan, I feel. They're not overreacting. They're not, jumping out the window like fans are. They're kind of staying steady and staying the course.
Yeah.
So,
and I think too, like a lot of our key pieces are still here. It's not like that 2014 season or 2014, 2015 where we were getting rid of everybody. We still have an amazing group of players that I think can rally and make this season really special.
Yeah, I agree. I was having that conversation just last night where, the national media has thrown it out there that we are rebuilding. And I'm like, no, 2016, from 2016 going into 2017, that was the rebuild. Yes. That was, Kyle and John's first year, and they got rid of like 40 players and brought in free agents, like drafted 10 players. I think they signed a bunch of other rookies. That was the rebuild years. This is more of a remodel.
Yes.
We're just
totally.
like if you think of your house and like, all right, this certain section needs to be updated, or I got some furniture here that's kind of outdated. Let's remove these pieces and get some new ones. Yeah. So we're just remodeling. And you can't rebuild when you have Brock Purdy, Fred Warner, Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle, Nick Bosa, Diamador Lenore, like names, all pros, players of the year, etc. on the roster. You can't rebuild when you have all of that ammunition.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that's why I'm excited to see what they have in mind to kind of elevate their key stars even more, because I think that's what they should be doing for sure.
Yeah. Okay. So speaking of that, you're gonna put on your GM cap for the moment. John Lynch calls you into his office. He says, Alex, look, I can't make the draft. I gotta go. I got things to do. But I want you to take over. You're in charge.
Yeah.
I trust you. So, what areas of the team would you focus on in the draft?
Oh, for sure, offensive line, defensive line.
Okay.
To me, those are the two I am begging John and Kyle, please, you guys, I need you to get some people because it starts up in that line for both sides of the ball. And I think of the 2019 season, even on like defense, it's like, look at who our two corners were. But because that defensive line was so dominant, we made it all the way to the Super Bowl. And our defense was so dominant starting up there. So I need some protection for Purdy. I really think it's important to kind of highlight, like, okay, we're going to pay you big quarterback money. All right, let's see what you can do. Okay, we need to get people to protect him.
Right.
And then I can really see, okay, Purdy, what's going on? I know they're probably going to pay him this offseason, but, you know, I don't know. I feel like sometimes I'm sitting up in the stands and I'm watching Jake Wendell and I'm like, I need to go down there and I need to do your job. With all respect. Hold on. Oh my gosh, but I know like we could be tough on them sometimes and all these things, but it's just because we want the best for our team, of course, and our best for our quarterback. But I really do think like those two are the priority for the draft. And of course, Kyle's gonna of course draft some running backs. third, fourth round. We know it's coming, but definitely offensive line and defensive line.
Yeah, I'm in agreement. I think you gotta start in the trenches. You know, as good as Trent Williams is, he's not getting any younger.
Yeah.
Like, let's try to maybe find a future replacement for him now. Shore up left guard, even though I think Ben Barch.
Yes.
Is you like Ben Barch?
I love Ben Barch.
Okay. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes, I did an episode of Crave recently, actually, where I was talking about that, and this was before Aaron Banks left, and I was like, I really do think that Ben Barch, if he stays healthy, because when I was watching him this past season, I was like, oh wow, like he's actually doing better than Aaron Banks was.
Yeah.
So I kind of have my eye on him, and I'm hoping that we see some things from him.
Yeah, I was paying attention to Ben Barch also, and I was like, oh, he got game.
Yeah.
Okay, Ben Barch, I like what I'm seeing.
Yeah,
so
and then that high ankle sprain.
I know.
Yeah.
It was like the first or second play of that game too. It was like, oh, we can't catch a break this season. It was one of those seasons.
It was one of those seasons.
It was one of those seasons. Yeah. And you mentioned Jake Brendel, and Jake, God bless his heart. He's out there giving it his all. But I've joked many a times that, Jake has the best seat in the house. Because a lot of times he's turning around watching Brock Purdy play. Like, he's just not blocking. Like, oh, Jake.
Ah, Jake.
So, if we can upgrade at center, I'll take it.
My goal. Like, come on, guys.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. So I'm sure they will. I'm sure that's part of their plan. This draft, from everything I've been hearing, is rich in the trenches. And with 11 picks, hey, let's try to make something happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in addition to the trenches, I was going to ask, what's the three things you would want from the team in this upcoming season?
Oh man, I'm like, number one, a Super Bowl. I'm just kidding. Well, not really.
No. I'm with you. Super Bowl win. Super Bowl win. Don't just get there.
Yeah.
You need the Lombardi in hand, right?
For sure. Gosh, I don't know. I've gotten to this point with this team where I'm just like, I have so much love for them. I'm like, okay, whatever, But Super Bowl win's always gonna be a part of it. Gosh, three things. I'm like, do I want them to get rid of Jake Moody before the season? Does that count as something?
It's a goal. It's a goal. We talked about upgrading at center, upgraded kicker.
Yes, I definitely want that to happen before the season. Let's see if they do. I have a feeling they'll do like a kicker competition.
Yes.
For sure.
I do too. Just real quick, I've been talking to people, and I always say, look, you don't want to not have a kicker completely. So you keep him on the roster for now, and you bring in some competition.
Yes.
2-3 kickers, other kickers, and you let them go at it. I think that's the game plan. And they have a very smart, capable coach now on special teams. Yes. So I can see that happening.
Yes, I think it's a priority, because I know a lot of people kind of defend him still, in terms of like, oh, well, he was coming back from the injury, and I understand that. I get it. I just can't let him missing that extra point in the Super Bowl go. I can't let it go.
Oh, it was blocked though.
I know. That's the thing. I know. I just can't let it go. It was blocked. I know.
So was that him, or was that Schneider's poor coaching on the line?
Stayed way too long, I think, as well. So I'm also glad that they made the right choice of getting rid of him, with love and respect to him. I think that's why I feel so confident in what's going to happen next season. To me, that's my that's my only goal and hope from them, because I know that they can do it. I know that they can get that Super Bowl win, and at home too. Imagine, that'd be crazy.
I know. With Dua Lipa doing the halftime show.
That's my dream. If she does the halftime show, I will literally get tickets. I don't care. Like, I'm like, okay, I don't think I would have been able to like go to Vegas or go to Miami.
Right.
But okay, if they got Dua Lipa to do the halftime show, listen, I think I would have to go to Levi's for the Super Bowl.
You'd have to. Everything would be lined up, right?
Everything would be lined up.
You'd have to.
Listen, I don't want to put it out there, but even if they lost, I feel like I would have won because I got to see.
Yeah, it's a personal victory. Yeah,
it's a personal victory. Totally.
Very cool. As I mentioned in the beginning, you are the partner and co-host of the Crave Radio Show. Let the people know about Crave.
So Crave is a podcast that I started with one of my best friends, Samantha. We actually started it as a radio show. Well, she started it actually. And after a semester, I came on board. It was our college radio program. And it was started with us just talking about our passions. Of course, I talked about the 49ers. She talked about Italian American heritage and her love for kind of being a bridge. And we did that for a couple semesters there. We both graduated and we wanted to keep going. And so now we do it every week and we upload on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart. And it's been really wonderful to be a part of something like that where we get to share, our love for what we love, our passion. And Samantha is so amazing. I can't even say enough about her and how I've learned so much about Italian American heritage through her eyes, and it's been really special.
Yeah, it is a fun and fascinating show to watch because it combines that, like you said, passion and entertainment and just creativity all in one. Yeah. So you get a little bit of everything when you watch it.
Yeah.
Right? You have actors, you have politicians, you have doctors, you have people doing cooking segments. Yeah. And you have a Learn Italian segment this season.
Yes.
So it's a little bit of everything.
It's a little bit of everything. And I get to teach some people that may not know about football a lot about football, a lot about the 49ers and what's going on. So that's also been really special to kind of share that love that I have and hopefully encourage others to, of course, support and watch football, but also be 49er fans.
That's right. Exactly. Got to get it in there. Because
got to.
Fans are everywhere. We are a global team.
Yeah.
We got fans everywhere. No matter where you go, we're everywhere. So you got to reach out to everyone. So I love it.
And you know what? I didn't know that you supported this show and watched this show, so I gotta say thank you for that too. That's amazing.
You're welcome. I do my best to try to comment. I don't always do it, but because I just forget sometimes, but I do try to get in there and I always drop a like, comment, try to do my best to help the algorithm. It's all about supporting one another.
Yeah, totally, 100%.
Yeah. Okay. Real quick, I know you're a Marvel fan. Who's your favorite Marvel character?
I keep saying it's tough for all of them. I'm going to say, I got to say Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I love Spider-Man. I love him. I love his character. I love his villains. I love him. Yeah. I grew up on Spider-Man. He's my favorite too. Especially I live in New York. He's a New Yorker. So, it's that whole connection there. Sad. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. As a kid from New York, hey, that's me. And like you said, you got the coolest characters, coolest villains, he's got the coolest girlfriends.
I'm telling you, Black Cat is my I should say Black Cat is my favorite, even more than Spider-Man. But yeah, close girlfriends, close villains, all that.
Yeah, if they make the announcement that Felicia's in this new movie, it's going down. I'm in there day one.
Yes, I know, me too. And I love Tom Holland's interpretation of him as well.
Yes,
so,
I really liked his movies. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm really glad that they decided to make a fourth one.
Oh, yeah. I was hoping they wouldn't let it die. But yeah, keep it going as long as they can. Because I really like what they're doing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a big Marvel fan for sure.
Very cool. Well, Alex, thank you once again for coming on. I really appreciate this. We got to talk again.
Yes.
Have some fun. If you're up for doing a live, maybe we'll do a live one day. How about that?
We should. I'm so down.
Awesome. Sweet.
Awesome.
Hey, everybody. This has been the Stay Faithful Podcast. Thank you for joining us. And as always, stay faithful. Go Niners.
Go Niners.